Awesome, guys. So, welcome to our very first episode of Firstsales Friday. After Firstsales version 2 is finally out. And I want to congratulate everyone who is here in this particular webinar trying to learn how to do sales, how to make money versus people who are probably partying. So, congratulations, you've already won half of the battle. And every Friday, we're going to be talking about every crazy strategy. And I think we're going to be having a lot of fun. I'm going to be sharing a lot of internal strategies, how we do things, how we fill up our pipelines, a lot of things, different tools that we use, all of those. Each week we'll be covering various topics, new topics. We'll be also doing some roasting sessions, what kind of emails you should send, you shouldn't send. Each week is going to be packed with value. So guys, thank you so much for coming in. If you're joining in just now, make your introduction and let everyone know what are you selling, right? Because this is again a sales channel, and if you don't make an attempt to sell something, I think you're really missing out an opportunity. So we'll be making sure that you get those opportunity. So let more and more people know what you guys do, and I'm gonna just be making this chat public. There you go, guys. So all the chat is now public on Zoom. Feel free to drop your pitch. Let everyone know who you are. Again, don't spam. There is an art of pitching. There's an art to sell something. And then there are people who are spammers. Don't be in that last category. Make sure you have that art of pitching. Convince people. That's what sales is all about. So I'm going to be sharing my screen now. All right, let me quickly share my screen. Yeah, I think I probably have like too many tabs. Let me just close those tabs very quickly. Okay, we're getting a lot of honest comments over here, a lot of honest replies. Thank you so much, guys, already. Just give me 1 second. Okay, there you go. I hope you guys are able to see my screen now. Drop your comments if you're able to see my screen. Just let me know. Perfect, guys. And thank you so much, everyone who is pitching in. I think, again, like I said, let's have some energy. Let's make some money. Let's make some good money, right? Let's make some sales and hit our target. So to begin with, this is our very first episode, which is cold emailing 101. And today we're going to be talking about secrets to writing emails that gets opened, right? And also at the same time, it gets replied. Who am I? I'm Udit Goenka. I'm the founder and CEO of Firstsales.io, a project that I've been trying to build for the last 6 years. It's finally here. So which means you're going to learn so much more, right? I was just waiting to start doing all of these sales webinars. Moving forward. So take out the screenshot, write it down. Don't just watch. The reason is when you write down these points, I'll go slow. When you write down these points, you start remembering them. Don't wait for, I'm going to be going and watching a replay and then I'm going to be doing things. Trust me, you're not going to be getting the best out of it right now because you're in the webinar. We are live. You're going to be taking questions. You're going to learn quite a lot. So understand why some people are able to sell so much via cold email, why some people aren't able to, is based out of these 4 core effective pillars. We call them as our effective cold marketing or cold emailing pillars. The first thing is understanding your audience. You know, the biggest mistake people often make when they're cold emailing, they go to a random website, they scrape the data, they buy some random data from someone. They say, I now have 3 million, 5 million list. And guess what? They end up getting 0 conversion because they don't know their audience. It's very important. Prospecting is the most essential part of cold emailing. And if you can get that right, you are already done 50% of the right things. So make sure that your first very effective strategy and pillar is understanding your audience, right? So for example, we at Firstsales, we generally sell our software to 3 ICPs specifically. The first ICP is SaaS founders, SaaS companies, because SaaS companies, they know what is outreaching. So we don't have to explain them what is cold email. What we have to explain them is why our software is better than other people. Now, this cuts down our sales cycle. If you understand your audience well, what's going to happen is you're going to reduce your sales cycle. You're not going to take a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months to close one specific client because cash flow is very critical in scaling up your business. And if you're lacking that cash flow, you're really going to struggle. So understand your audience. Second, crafting a compelling subject line. Usually what happens is people either make the subject line too big or too small, and it just doesn't make people click your email, right? It looks like one of those just regular emails that comes and it eventually gets on page 2, page 3, and no one ever is going to open that email. So again, make sure that you're having a very compelling subject line. Third is writing engaging email content. Very important. Very, 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 very important that you have the right kind of content strategy in place. I'm going to share one copy with you as well that we are currently running right now. I thought I would never share, but I think because I want to drive more value to you guys, I'm going to share that copy with you. But I'm going to be sharing that copy at the very end. And I'm going to make sure that that gets included when the final replay comes out, because you're going to stay here. And if you're going to stay here till the end, you're going to see that copy from me, right? The third and the fourth most important part is analyzing and improving your strategy. Cold email doesn't work in a way where you have data, you dump all of the data into any random software. As a matter of fact, even Firstsales magically won't help you out. So when you are analyzing, make sure that you analyze and have a very clear strategy with regards to what you want to sell to your prospect, right? And at the same time, keep on improving. Never ever send a massive, big first campaign. Always start small. Start with a small audience. Test your copy. If their copy works, build a bigger audience. Now test another copy. Always keep testing, because you will not know how you can improve your conversions unless and until you try something new and you try something better. Make sure that you're always improving. Now let's talk about pillar 1, right? We have spoken about pillar 1, but we haven't really spoken about everything in detail. So the first question that you should be asking yourself is, does your team know who your ideal email recipient is, which generally stands for IER? Always ask this question to yourself, that who is your ideal email recipient? Now, I'm going to tell you one big mistake that I would say like 99.9% of the cold email marketers make is they never build a campaign just for one ICP. Right? They never do that. What they're going to do is they're going to get a bunch of random people who could be doing consultation, who could be doing business services, who could be agencies. They would put all of that entire data into one campaign, and then they would launch a campaign, and then they would try to keep their copy so generic that no one is interested. That's not how you sell. That's not how you're going to get responses from people. And that's not how people will even be bothered about what you're offering. So make sure that you are always focusing on just one ICP. Again, ICP stands for ideal customer profile, and you need to know your ideal email recipient. Who is that other person? Now, once you have your ideal customer profile, now what does this IER means? It means who that person is who's going to be receiving this email. Always send your emails to decision makers. Never use those cheap strategies where you're sending an HR and asking them, hey, can you please connect me with someone who in your team who can answer this? No one is going to do that. No one has time for that anymore. It's 2023, right? Those strategies used to work back in 2015, 16, but now no one cares because people are more educative about cold email. So you have to be very laser precise with your email recipient. So always make sure that you're contacting decision makers. In a bigger organizations, generally you might want to contact directors. They are the ones who will decide, and CXOs would be very difficult to get in touch with, especially if you're selling to and pitching to enterprises. But if you're selling to small businesses, so what do I mean by small business? Generally, anyone with like 1 to 50 employees is what is considered a small business. Anyone from, let's say, 51 to about 200 or about 300 is generally considered as medium size. And anyone who has about like more than 200 employees, that's generally is classified as an enterprise. Now that there is a different scale of enterprise, right? So it can be small enterprise, medium enterprise, large enterprise, or like a luxury enterprise, right? Luxury enterprises are generally Fortune 500 companies, basically. So understand whom you are sending email to. If it's small business, always reach out to CXOs. Use LinkedIn Sales Navigator data in order to get that data. We'll be keeping another session where we'll be doing prospecting as well. Prospecting is really fun, right? I'll be showing my strategy for that. Next is Second, is your current email content resonating with your IER? Always make sure that your contents are then resonating with those decision makers or not. It's very critical. So for example, if you're emailing to an HR and asking them to connect to any of the decision maker, they're not going to be interested at that stage. That's really a wrong way of burning out your entire list at that stage. Now, why do you, when you want to contact an HR, make sure that you're selling HR services. That's when you reach out to an HR. Just giving you an example that you need to understand what you're selling, and then you need to understand whom you are selling, and then you need to understand why you are selling to them. If you can understand these 3 W's, it will make your life so much more easier to understand whom, how, and why you are selling something. Next is, do you have the right email strategy to capture this audience attention? Always, always, always make sure you have an offer. If you're not going to have an offer in your email copy, it's not going to convert, right? So now, usually what people do is they try to be very soft with their email. They are not very aggressive with their email, or they're trying to sell features and solutions. That's not how you sell. If you want to sell, you want to make sure that you're selling by selling an outcome. Understand what outcome that is, and then throw in an offer, right? I'm going to show you an example of that email as well. Like I said, I'm going to be showing that at the very end of the campaign, right? And I'm going to be removing that when we upload the replay, because we obviously don't want more people to know and use that. But since you guys are in the webinar, you guys deserve to see that copy from us. But I'm going to show that at the very end, right? I have to keep some FOMO to keep you guys till the end. So again, next is your organization aligned towards a common sales goal? It's very important to understand, again, that when you're reaching out and you have a specific goal and you're reaching out to the other person, you're understanding their goal as well. So let's say that if you're reaching out to SaaS founders, understand what is their biggest pain point. If you cannot focus on their pain point, you are not going to be able to sell. So let's take an example again of SaaS founders over here. The biggest challenge SaaS founders have is they need more prospects to book demo calls for their product. This is the biggest pain point of every single SaaS founder, be it a small SaaS founder, be it medium size, be it an enterprise SaaS. Everyone has this problem. And if you can help them fill as an agency, you can help them fill more of the calendars. That is exactly what should be your sales goal. That aligns with them. So make sure that you're aligning that specific goal. Now, you could also be launching an email outreaching campaign for partnership purposes. So for example, what I will do is I'm going to get, let's say that I want to launch a partnership program for Firstsales. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape all the data of all the potential prospects of affiliates who are promoting softwares. I'm going to get that data, and then I'm going to send them a partnership pitch. Now, what do they want to hear from me in that partnership pitch? How much commission will they get when they promote my product, right? When they promote your product. That's the only thing that matters to them. If that gets aligned, it's on, and now you have a partnership in place. So understand why someone would want to work with you, why someone would take out their checkbook and pay you. That's very, very, very critical. Now, how do you identify your ideal email recipient? Again, guys, start writing down these points in a notepad, or just grab your iPad, or just write these points on your phone. Don't go back, watch a replay, because again, when you start writing these and start typing this, in the back of your mind, you'll start remembering these points. So the next time when you're building campaigns, you would remember, yes, this is something that I missed out. I should be adding this. So again, how to identify your ideal email recipient? First, focus on prospects who need your product and services. So this is where you don't randomly just download some data from some random place and you're pitching your services. Try to do some research and understand if your prospects have a need or not. And this is where you also need to include that in your copy very smartly. It's again very important, right? Second, understand their pain point and how your product and services can solve them. Again, sell outcome, which is what I mentioned earlier. Understanding their pain point is critical. And this is why I mentioned that focus on just one ICP, one ideal customer profile for every campaign. It's very important because even though you might be providing a common solution, but the way to approach to every founder's or every niche's problem is very different. And if you're going to be pitching the same old strategy to everyone, it's not going to work out, right? So let's take an example of that. So let's say that if you are an agency that does personal branding, just to give you an example. Now, if you're going to reach out to, let's say, a founder, funded company's founder, their problems and challenges are very different. Versus if you're reaching out to, let's say, a bootstrap founder, their problem and challenges are very different. Now, your solution is still the same, but the problem statement and the way you're going to approach them is going to be very different. So make sure that you understand whom you're sending emails to. You do not use the same copy for everyone because it's just not going to work out. So understand their pain points, and in your copy, it shouldn't be about this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I sell, this is what we do, this is what. Cold emails is not about you, it's about your prospects. Focus and highlight about them, about their problems, and why they need your solution. Again, it needs to be about them. Third, are they engaging with your emails or other content? This means that you have to go beyond just email, which means that when you are sending out emails, and let's say if they end up opening your email, connect with them on LinkedIn or connect with them on Twitter. Generally, if you are just doing LinkedIn Sales Navigator prospecting, you already have the data, send out a request to them, connect with their contents, connect with them. And because you're going to be only downloading active LinkedIn contents data, it will help you out, right? So understand that. Guys, if you're liking the content so far, drop some fire emoji. I need to see if you guys are liking the content before I proceed further. I want to see some comments from you guys. Are you guys liking the content so far? Come on, guys, I need some reaction. Have you guys learned something new so far in the first 10-15 minutes? Is this webinar being productive? Do you want me to keep doing it every week? Do let me know, guys. Let's engage a bit. Let me know in the comments. Fantastic. Good to see that you guys are actually liking these content, right? Again, there will be presentation in every single webinar because again, we want you guys to like just this deep dive and learn about these things. Moving forward, let's move forward, guys. Okay, perfect. Now let's talk about pillar 2. How to really craft that compiling subject line, right? The first thing is, we all know, right? The first impression is the last impression. So let's take an example. If you have a Tinder account, and how do you swipe someone right is by just checking out their picture, what kind of clothes they have in their picture. You don't even know how the person is, but what are you going to do? If the clothing is not right, if the person has not shaved, if the hair is like stupidly long, then what are you going to do? You're going to swipe left, even though he could be the nicest guy or girl in the world. But you've already made your judgment that no, man, if these people are not even dressing properly, I don't know if I could be even in a relationship. I don't see myself with this individual ever in my life. That's your thought process. This is exactly how your prospects think when you add a generic subject line. Hey, something like, I have this service, I'm going to sell this. Hey, this email is for you. No one is interested. Be very specific, clear. And if you read the very first point, create curiosity, urgency, or offer value, right? So now, if I dress well, if I've shaved properly, and if I have all the grooming done, right, there's a big chance that I'm going to be getting a lot of right swipes, right? So similarly, you're going to be getting a lot of clicks on your subject line. Very important. Create curiosity, create urgency, create value. Sales and dating is exactly the same. And that's why I'm giving this analogy, because when you look at the kind of efforts that you do to impress your partner, you are going to be needing to do the exact equal efforts in order to close a deal with your clients. Always remember this. Second, personalize whenever possible. Personalization is the goal and key. So when I say personalization, I'm not talking about going and recording videos, recording 5-minute videos and sending them. Trust me, no one is interested. No one is going to click and watch that video. Probably like 1 in like 10,000 people are going to watch that, because no one has time to invest 5 minutes in buying your product or services. No one does that. So make sure that you are sticking with just personalizing your piece of content, and personalize as much as possible, focusing on their pain point. And lastly, keep it short and sweet. Don't write an essay. Don't write 4 paragraphs, 5 paragraphs. Don't write an essay. No one is interested in reading in a long, lengthy emails, right? Make sure you keep it extremely short, to the point. Again, create curiosity, urgency, or create some value that will make people hit that button and they will want to actually buy your service, right? Now, let's understand a bit more. The art of writing subject lines. The very first point is use emotional triggers, right? Emotional triggers can significantly increase the open rate of your email. These triggers can be curiosity, fear, urgency, surprise, or personal connection. For example, a subject line like, "You won't believe what we have for you." This triggers curiosity. Everyone wants to know what is it in for them, right? Everyone wants to know that. So now always make sure that your tone of your subject line creates some sort of urgency, surprise, or something, right? Like they need to just be so curious that I need to click and read that. That's very critical, and that's step one, right? That's your first impression. So in this case, as you can see, we have given an example of, "You won't believe what we have for you. I want to know what you have for me," right? That's how you create curiosity. Second, people open emails that problems to solve their problem. By the time we end this, each one of you have probably received 10 to 50 new emails from people. How do you stand out? By focusing on your ideal email recipient. Always focus on them, always solve their problem. If you're not going to be focusing on solving their problem, they won't care, and you would be just another email in thousands of other emails that they get every single day. So if you want to stand out, make sure that you focus on their problem. Last, always do A/B testing. Always do A/B testing. Never ever stop doing A/B testing, because you always want to make sure that if you have gotten 20% open rate, how can you achieve 30%? If you've gotten 30%, how can you reach 35%? If it's 35, how can you reach 40%? Always keep testing. There is nothing known as winner, because if you are a marketer or a salesperson, you need to keep trying and experimenting new things. Otherwise, you will just become too comfortable and you could be leaving a lot of money on table. Never ever do that, right? So always test out, always A/B test, and Firstsales just makes it very easy for any kind of A/B testing. Again, I'm going to be showing you guys in just a moment. Right now, understand the third pillar, which is writing engaging email content. First point is make it easy for them to understand your message. Don't use very complicated words when you're sending out email. It's very important that you use a non-complicated word. Use something very simple that can be understood by a grade 3 English reader. So make sure that it is very easy. The choice of the word shouldn't be complex. The choice of the word should be extremely easy, where they understand what you are doing and what you're trying to sell. And wherever possible, try to break it down in bullet points, because we humans naturally read better when things are in bullet point. So wherever it's possible, add those. Wherever it's possible, you break it down, right? Now, make sure that you are delivering 10x the value, because if you have significant information and if you're not going to be providing discounts, offers, cold email will just not work, because it's not going to trigger curiosity. So for example, if you're selling some services for $2,500, offer 25% discount if they get back to you within 3 days, right? Offer some discounts, offer something extra to your prospects, because if you're not going to do that, it's just going to be very difficult. If you're not going to be lowering down your price point, then offer something more, that, hey, if you sign up for this month, or if you reply to this email right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing your next 5 days of LinkedIn post for free. Hey, I'm going to respond to that. Who doesn't like free stuff? And at the same time, if they start getting their engagements, that's the aha moment you have with your prospect, right? The moment you give them aha moment, that's when you trigger them and they are all ready with their credit card. So speaking of aha moment, every company in the world, be it an agency or be it a SaaS company, someone who's selling a product or someone who's selling services, they need to find the aha moment of their customers. If you do not understand the aha moment of your customers, you will never be able to achieve a product-led growth or a service-led growth ever, because you will not be able to build a right pitch. So understand what is that aha moment. What is that factor that makes them trigger and say, damn, I need to hire you. I need your product. This is perfect. I'm ready to take out my credit card. You need to win that trust, and you will only win that trust when you give that aha moment to them. So understand and provide that sort of a value. This is how you make people engage with your content. You make people click on that reply button on the content, and that's how you get people to close in, right? Now, always have a very clear CTA. Don't try to push people to get on the call for the very first email. Try to have a very clear CTA of just asking them to reply. That's it. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I often see from so many companies, is that they push people to get on a call for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and they try to sell them. I get such emails all day long. We'll be keeping some roasting session. I think roasting session is going to be a very fun session where we'll get those emails that we get, and we're going to roast the heck out of them, right? What they're doing wrong is something that you can avoid. So other people's misery and mistakes can be your benefits. So we're going to be doing those roasting sessions in one of these weeks. Now, I have a very clear CTA. Don't ask too much. Just the simplest CTA should be, hey, just respond to this email and I'm going to give you this. And if possible, make it free. Make that response free, because when you give something for free at the very initial touch, there's a very high chance that your response rate is going to go up drastically. Now, if someone is not buying from you, it's not because your product or service sucks. The reason why someone is not buying from you is because they don't trust you. That's the only reason, right? So credit card is that trust, basically, that, hey, now I trust you, I'm going to take out my credit card. So always remember that don't put so much pressure where you're asking your prospects to spend so much time. A simple reply, and here you go, right? I think the simplest thing you can possibly do is just create a simple ebook and send that ebook to your potential prospects, right? Or an industry data that you have built of 4-page, 3-page, 7-page, whatever it is that can help your prospect. And this is why going and making every campaign for just one ICP is so very handy, because you're going to be closing in more deals that way. Otherwise, you are just going to suffer and have challenges in terms of closing more deals. And lastly, leverage your satisfied customers. Always encourage happy customers to share their experience, include testimonials or case studies in your email wherever possible. It will always help you get better conversion. So for example, if you have 3 reviews, talk about those customers. Tell them that, hey, these are the 3 customers that have gotten amazing results from my services, right? Because that builds a lot of confidence. Social proof is one of the most critical factor when it comes to building conversions and making sure that you're able to capitalize on those testimonials to build more customer base. Now, some of you might ask that, hey, how do I get started? I don't even have customers. Reach out to 10 people and tell them, I'm going to offer my service absolutely free in exchange for your review, in exchange for case study. That's the best way to do it. And you should actually keep doing it frequently over a period of time as well, even after a year or 2 years, because you want to constantly keep on building more case studies. Generally, your customers do not have enough time where they would spend their time on with you on call, help you build a case study. There will be probably one customer in probably like 50 customers that will agree to do it, provided again you're giving more value to them. Only then they would spare their time. But otherwise, keep providing some of your service for free on like frequent basis, so that you can keep building those case studies and you can include that when you are cold emailing. Now let's talk about the fourth and the last pillar, which is analyzing and improving your strategy. You need to always check these stats in terms of how many people have opened the email, how quickly are you responding to replies. This is very quickly, that if someone has responded to your cold email and if you're taking 2 days, 3 days, 5 days to get back to them, say goodbye. They've already forgotten you existed. Never ever do that. Try to get back to them at every given point as soon as possible. Whenever you get a reply on your Gmail or whatever platform that you're using, always keep those notifications on. If you see that we've gotten a reply from your prospect, reply right away. Right? If you're sleeping, the moment you wake up, check your email, respond right away. Sooner the reply, the faster you have an opportunity to actually close them. Then check what is your CTR. How long does it take on an average for your lead to get converted? You need to know your closing cycle, because you cannot build a predictable channel if you don't know the sales cycle, right? And then what percentage of conversion is actually coming from new recipients versus existing one, which is your existing list. and segmentation is extremely important, right? Try to understand those factors because it's genuinely going to help you. Now, here are some of the tools that we would recommend you. You want to like just write it down. It's up to you. You want to like list it down. These are the tools that we use internally for any kind of email finders. We're currently using Easy Leads. We are using Snow, and we're using Apollo right now for any kind of emails at this point of stage. We're also building our own scraper, by the way, where it's going to be a LinkedIn sales navigator scraper, and I think it should be out within Firstsales within next 2 months, I think. And we'll be sending an invite to everyone once it's out for you guys to go and test it out and see. For email sending, definitely will be like recommending you Firstsales. I think we have built a spectacular tool. We've been getting great results. I think our prospects and customers have been getting great results as well. For CRM, we personally use Pipedrive, but you can use HubSpot or free CRM as well, but always use a CRM. Don't work on an Excel sheet. Trust me, you are not doing yourself a favor in terms of growing your business. Always use a CRM. We personally use Pipedrive, and hence we have written Pipedrive in the next point. And lastly, for data analytics, I think Firstsales is absolutely spectacular in terms of the data that we give. Now, this is your cold email that gets delivered and that results. If you look at this chart, if you look at this diagram, this summarizes everything, which is right from creating a compiling subject line. You use emotional triggers to pique your interest, make it relevant to your recipient's needs or pain point, then keep it short, clear, and intriguing for them. Then next comes the preview text that continues the flow of the email. Make it a natural extension of the subject line. Provide a brief into your email's content, then keep it engaging and curiosity. Always. Again, I'm going to be sharing one example with you guys as well. All right. So don't worry about that. Then always make sure that your email copy and CTA, your next point is your greetings, right? And your icebreaker. Always personalize greetings to make recipient feel value. Always, right? Always do that. It always makes them feel special. Start with a friendly, casual icebreaker to set a tone. Then your context is the king, not your content, right? Your context is very critical. Always make sure that your context is absolutely bang on, because if your context is not going to be clear, you're going to have challenges. Don't do that. Simple, right? Lastly is going to be your email copy and CTA. So again, keep the email copy very concise, clear, and value-packed. Make your CTA prominent, action-oriented, and persuasive. And lastly, don't ask for too much, right? Don't write an essay. Don't try to ask them, hey, please reply this, please do that, please. No, keep it very simple. Hey, you do this, I'm going to give you this. And that this is going to be a reply. Just hit the reply button and say yes, or put an emoji, whatever it is. Make it so simple for them to take action. Don't make it very complicated, because those people, they don't know you. Whenever you're cold emailing people, they don't know you, they don't know your business. So you're building and establishing a relationship. It's like I said, this is why I told you, like, it's like dating. You're going to a bar, you're going to different dating apps, you're meeting random people, and then you're seeing that if that random people could turn into a serious relationship down the road, where you could possibly end up marrying someone one day, right? The journey for cold emails to getting clients is exactly the same. There is no difference in terms of getting that approach. Guys, again, are you liking the content so far? I need to see some more reactions from you guys. Use some fire emoji. Let me know if you guys are pumped up, if you guys have learned something new, different, and you're understanding why cold email works for some people, why it doesn't work for some people. Let me know, guys. Come on, drop in some comments. Awesome. Content seems to be like filling in. Thank you so much, guys. Moving forward, the numbers don't lie. Now, here are some statistics from different big platforms. I'm now directly sharing these stats. 47% of email recipients open on the basis of subject line alone. Now you see 47%. That means even if you have a verified list of 1,000 people, out of that, 470 might not even open your email, because your email line just sucks, right? So just make it unsucky, simple. Write better lines. We have just told you how, right? Second is personalized subject lines are 26% more likely to be open, which means if you make it more about them, their problem in the subject line, there's a big chance you will actually get more response. Third, emails with single call to action increases clicks by almost 370% and sales by almost 1,617%. And this is why email is one of the most profitable channel. And this is why on an average, you make 36x return. So every $1 that you spend on any kind of email related tools or prospecting or any of those things, you end up making about $36 back. This is statistics again, right? That's the potential return that you can get that no other platform in the world can give you that sort of in return. So, and lastly, email is almost 40 times more effective and securing than social media. Social media is great. You're going to get engagement, but you might not get customers. Getting followers, getting engagement doesn't equal to customers. And that's the biggest myth people have. And that's why you see so many creators and so-called influencers really struggling, because they might have 1 million, 2 million followers, but no one is buying from them. So that's why you cannot build an effective sales channel. Your customers are sitting inside email. That's where they are, right? We all are using our emails every single day. We open our emails every single day. We check our emails every single day. So that's where we are. The moment we get a phone, the first thing that you do is set up an email. That's the first thing that you do. So emails are that effective. Everyone is available on email, especially in developed countries. So that's why if you do your prospecting right and get your offers right, you have a big chance of actually converting. And again, here are some more stats for you guys, right? So there you go. If you just look at it, leaders of both small and mid-sized businesses listed inflation as a key concern, with almost 97% of mid-sized companies leaders saying that the business are facing challenges due to inflation, and nearly half, which is 45% of small businesses leaders citing inflation as a top challenge for the year ahead, up from 20% last year. Understanding and addressing the challenges facing small businesses will be key to promoting long-term economic recovery. This can be done both by a favorable policy conditions, by also giving these leaders and owners the framing to know how to approach the right agility. So as you can see right now, because of all of these reasons, acquiring customers have become more challenging. So this is why cold emails is even more of a way and strategy to reach out to them, because if you're just going to switch on the ad and expect sales to come in magically, that's not going to happen. You need to knock the right doors. And this is how you need to understand that when you're sending out emails, you do it to right people. That's very critical. How has been this information, guys? I need to know, so that before I dive into the email copy, I share a bit more to you guys. I want to know a bit more about how do you guys find today's webinar so far before we dive into the last part of the webinar. Come on, guys. Drop in some comments. I need to see some questions. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If there is clear understanding, if some of the points you guys did not get, please drop all your questions in. I would love to take up all of those questions right now, help you guys answer those questions and make sure that you guys are effectively building everything. I want to know more about the psychological pressure selling you image, psychological pressure selling you mentioned on LinkedIn. So Bhuvanyu, I think we're going to be like keeping another session for that just talks about sales, how you should be actually selling to people without really selling them. So I'm going to be keeping a very separate session for like psychological strategies and what you should never do in order to like kind of sell to people. So I think there's one advice that I will give to everyone. Do not sell to people who do not need your product and services. That's the biggest mistake you will make, because if you take money from someone who doesn't need your product and services, you are going to be screwed up, because they will ping you. They will, your customers at that stage, you are going to suffer a lot because they didn't need that. It's very important. There's a great question coming in from Pooja. She's asking, how many follow-up emails should we send out? The answer is test out, right? Do an A/B testing, see whether 8 follow-up works better, 12 follow-up works better, 3 follow-up works better. No one knows the right answer, because you have to understand that every culture is different, every niche is different, the problem statement of every business is different. Businesses of different size have different problems. So you have to make sure that you test out very aggressively. That's the most critical part. Moving on to the next question. is from Manan. Manan is asking, how can I build an engaging subject line? Should I need customize every time for different purposes? It needs to be on per ICP. That's the most critical part, that you have the right ICPs in place, because if you're not going to have the right ICPs in place, you are always going to struggle in terms of doing whatever you're doing right now, right? So just make sure that you guys are making sure that you're not selling. Now, moving on to the next one. How can I build an engaging? I think I've already answered this. Let me actually now dive in to one of the campaigns, guys. Just a moment. I'm now sharing my screen. Okay, now I've shared the record. I've shared the insights with you. Only the people who were in the part of the webinar saw that. People who are not at the part of the webinar couldn't see the copy. Next time, make sure that you're joining our future webinars if you really want to see, right? Because some of the insights that we're going to share in every webinar will not be recorded, period. It's only going to be exclusive for people who are joining the webinar, because we want to deliver 10x more value to you guys, right? This is how we have built things. Again, there are some more questions coming in. Let me just take those questions very quickly. There's one question coming in. Wait, how can I build engaging subject lines? Should I need to customize every time for different purposes? No, you have to make it for every single ICP, which is one campaign. Like I just showed you right now, we created 3 subject lines to test out to see which one is going to work better. Once we get this rolling for the next 1 month, we'll have enough data to make better decisions. And then from there, we'll just keep on optimizing, right? We'll keep on testing, we'll keep on improving things. The offers will change the email copy quite a bit based on the testing that we have done. But hey, 2 days ago, we launched a campaign. We already closed our first customer. That's absolute gold. Who could have thought? My total spend was close to 0, right? This is how you do things. This is how you understand things. This is how you build things. And this is how you cold email. Let me take some more questions if there are any very quickly. Is a tool you use for cold first sales integrates with CRM? So right now, the CRM integration is not done yet. Just let us know which integration you want, and whatever our customers recommend, we'll be starting the integration processes probably from the month of August. So just let us know what you want, and we'll integrate that for you. Again, I've answered, I think, the rest of the questions. I guess we have answered. There's another question coming. Any chance Firstsales gets integrated with ChatGPT to build? We already have AI, by the way. Just in case if you guys want, we already have the AI built up. Again, I don't want to like very crazy hard pitches right now, right? Because these are value sessions, and during value sessions, we keep the selling part very minimal, so that you guys can actually see the value that we're going to be providing. And then if you like what you're seeing, and if you're understanding more about cold emails, then we would highly recommend you to sign up for Firstsales. If you know someone who can benefit from this, just recommend them Firstsales at the same time. How to build email signature, share your thoughts. Again, if you saw my signature, it's very simple. I don't overcomplicate it. This is who I am. This is my designation. And this is my position. That's it in this company. That's it. Keep your subject lines very short, precise. The focus should not be on you. The focus in the email should be your prospects. Your copy is everything, not your email. You just make sure that you focus on your prospects. That's all. As long as you do that, you would get results, right? Lastly, before we wrap up, meanwhile, again, guys, if you have any questions, please drop your questions. I'm again more than happy to take up any questions that you guys have currently. Meanwhile, let me just quickly share my screen once again. All right. Okay, there you go. As you guys can see my screen right now. I'm just going to head to the pricing tab very quickly. So guys, you can get started with Firstsales for absolutely free. We have a 7-day free trial. That's good enough to get maybe a few responses if you have followed everything. The pricing starts at $60 per month. That's it. Here you get like unlimited mail accounts. You get up to 15,000 uploads, which is your active contacts, and you can send up to like 60,000 emails. If you're looking for this, if you're looking to scale, if you're a medium-sized business, then $50 per month per email account is what you get. And if you guys are looking for anything bulk or any offer, you can head over here. If you need more discounts that you might want to actually sign up and see, because we are right now running a special offer just for you guys. So click over here in the sign up button, sign in, and you would see the special offer that is going to expire in the next 72 hours. Don't miss it out. What that special offer is, you guys only going to know if you sign in. You don't want to miss out on the discount, guys. Like it's a pretty sexy discount. That's all I can say. With that, we are on time, by the way. Congratulations, guys. 1 hour, we wrapped up. I hope you guys liked the very first episode. I'm going to be coming back next Friday to help you guys make more money, fill your entire sales pipeline with more prospects, more customer. Until then, guys, have a great one and keep selling over the weekends as well, guys. Bye, everyone.